The Amazon rainforest looks like a place of endless life, vibrant green stretching beyond the horizon, a paradise that feels untouched by time. From above, it appears calm, ancient, almost protective, like nature's final stronghold against a restless world. But beneath that beauty lies a truth far darker than most people are prepared to confront. Before we go any deeper, if you enjoy mysterious, real-world stories that reveal the hidden side of our planet, make sure to subscribe to this channel now, because stories like this are disappearing faster than the rainforest itself. The Amazon is not just a forest. It is a living archive of secrets, and some of them were never meant to be found. Long before satellites mapped its canopy or scientists documented its species, the Amazon already watched civilizations rise, collapse, and vanish without leaving clear explanations behind. Explorers who entered the forest centuries ago often returned broken, silent, or not at all, leaving behind journals filled with fear, confusion, and unanswered questions. Many described hearing sounds that did not belong to animals, seeing structures deep in the jungle that should not exist, and encountering tribes whose knowledge of the forest defied logic. Modern science likes to frame the Amazon as a biological system, a collection of trees, rivers, and animals. But the people who have lived there for thousands of years know it as something far more complex. To them, the forest is aware, reactive, and unforgiving to those who disrespect it. One of the most unsettling truths hidden inside the Amazon is that it is not as untouched as we once believed. Recent discoveries reveal massive ancient earthworks, road systems, and urban layouts buried beneath the canopy, suggesting that millions of people once lived there in highly organized societies. These were not small, primitive villages, but advanced cultures capable of reshaping the land on a scale that rivals early civilizations elsewhere in the world. And yet, these societies vanished. There are no clear records of war, no obvious signs of mass destruction, only silence. Some researchers believe disease wiped them out after European contact, but that explanation does not fully account for the sudden abandonment of entire regions, especially those deep inland that had little to no early contact with outsiders. As you move deeper into the forest, another dark secret reveals itself. The Amazon is one of the most dangerous places on Earth, not because of what is visible, but because of what is hidden. Beneath the soil lie ancient pathogens frozen in time, bacteria and viruses that modern humans have no immunity against. Scientists have already documented microbes in isolated regions that behave unlike anything seen in modern medicine, and deforestation is increasing the risk of releasing them. Some experts quietly warn that future pandemics may not come from laboratories or cities, but from forests disturbed too aggressively, awakening biological threats that have been dormant for centuries. Then there are the uncontacted tribes, entire human populations living in total isolation, intentionally avoiding the modern world. Their existence itself is a secret governments rarely highlight, because contact often leads to disaster. History shows that when outsiders reach these tribes, disease follows, wiping out generations in months. Yet what makes this darker is not just their vulnerability, but their knowledge. Anthropologists who have studied nearby tribes report that many possess an understanding of medicinal plants that surpasses modern pharmaceutical research. Some tribes can neutralize poisons, treat infections, and induce complex psychological states using combinations of plants science has barely begun to study. This raises an unsettling question. How much knowledge was lost when ancient Amazonian civilizations disappeared, and how much remains hidden because we cannot safely access it? The forest also hides violence, both ancient and modern. Today, illegal mining, logging, and drug trafficking operations operate deep within the Amazon, often beyond the reach of law enforcement. Entire areas are controlled by armed groups, and indigenous people who resist are threatened, displaced, or killed. Journalists who investigate these regions sometimes vanish, their stories unfinished, their footage never recovered. The Amazon has become a battlefield where profit and preservation collide, and the forest absorbs the consequences in silence. But perhaps the most disturbing secret of all is psychological. Many people who spend extended time in the Amazon report intense mental changes, disorientation, paranoia, vivid dreams, and a persistent feeling of being watched. Scientists attribute some of this to isolation, humidity, and sensory overload, but indigenous explanations differ. They believe the forest tests those who enter, stripping away arrogance and exposing inner fears. There are countless accounts of experienced guides becoming lost in areas they know well, as if the forest itself rearranged around them. Time perception changes, distances feel distorted, and survival becomes a mental battle as much as a physical one. This is why the Amazon has defeated so many expeditions equipped with modern technology. GPS fails under dense canopy, communication collapses, and even satellite imagery cannot predict what waits below. The deeper truth is that the Amazon does not yield its secrets easily, and those who try to dominate it often pay a price. Every fallen tree exposes not just land, but history, and every road carved through the jungle cuts through stories we barely understand. As the modern world pushes further into the forest, the line between discovery and destruction grows thinner. What we call progress may be the very force erasing answers to questions we have not yet learned to ask. And this is only the surface, because deeper inside the Amazon, beyond the reach of cameras and maps, lie secrets far more unsettling than lost cities or hidden tribes. Secrets tied to myths, unexplained phenomena, and encounters that challenge everything we think we know about nature, humanity, and survival itself. As we move deeper into the Amazon, beyond what maps show and documentaries dare to linger on, the forest begins to feel less like a place and more like a presence, something ancient that does not simply exist but observes, remembers, and reacts. And this is where the darkest secrets stop being historical facts and start becoming experiences that people struggle to explain. Deep within the jungle are regions scientists call biological voids, areas where normal patterns of life suddenly break down, where animal sounds disappear, insects go silent, and even the air feels heavy and wrong, as if nature itself is holding its breath. Expeditions that enter these zones often report malfunctioning equipment, sudden illness, and overwhelming fear with no clear cause, leading some researchers to quietly abandon their studies without publishing results. Indigenous stories describe these places as forbidden, areas where the forest was wounded long ago, either by ancient catastrophes or by forces humans were never meant to disturb. And while modern science avoids such language, it cannot fully explain why these zones exist. Then there are the legends of creatures that blur the line between myth and misidentification, beings described consistently across distant tribes who have never contacted each other. Massive serpent-like shadows moving through rivers, human-like figures that walk upright but vanish into the trees without sound, and glowing eyes watching silently from the darkness. Stories dismissed as folklore until trail cameras capture distorted, unexplainable images that never quite show enough to confirm or deny what was seen. Even more unsettling are the whispers surrounding secret research operations hidden deep within the Amazon, facilities rumored to exist far from public oversight, where governments and corporations study rare pathogens, undiscovered species, and even psychological effects of prolonged jungle isolation. Rumors fueled by restricted airspace, sudden disappearances of survey teams, and satellite imagery that shows structures where no settlements should be. While official explanations point to conservation bases or weather stations, locals tell a different story, one of areas that people are warned never to approach, guarded not by fences, but by fear. The forest also hides a darker human truth. The Amazon has become one of the most dangerous places on Earth for those who try to protect it. Environmental activists, indigenous leaders, and journalists are threatened, hunted and killed for standing between profit and destruction, their names briefly appearing in news headlines before fading into silence, just like the trees they fought to save. Entire communities have vanished from disputed regions, not erased by nature but by greed, leaving behind abandoned villages slowly swallowed by vines, their stories lost because no one remained to tell them. But beyond violence and mystery lies a secret that feels almost philosophical, something the Amazon forces us to confront about ourselves. The rainforest exposes how fragile human control truly is. Despite satellites, drones, and global communication, vast portions of the Amazon remain unmapped, unexplored, and unpredictable. A single storm can erase paths, a single flood can rewrite the landscape, and a single mistake can turn survival into disappearance. This is why so many people who enter the Amazon speak of humility, of being stripped down mentally and emotionally, of realizing that intelligence, technology, and confidence mean very little in a place that operates on rules older than civilization itself. Some who survive extended time in the jungle say they leave changed, not traumatized, but quieter, as if the forest took something from them or showed them something they cannot unsee. Scientists studying long-term isolation in the Amazon have noted profound psychological shifts, heightened awareness, altered sense of self, and a deep discomfort upon returning to modern life, suggesting that the forest does not just challenge the body, but rewires the mind. And then there is the future, perhaps the darkest secret of all. The Amazon is approaching a tipping point, a moment scientists warn could transform it from a rainforest into a dry savanna, releasing unimaginable amounts of carbon, accelerating climate change, and triggering global consequences that cannot be reversed. If that happens, the secrets buried beneath the canopy may never be studied, understood, or even known, erased not by time, but by urgency and neglect. Ancient cities will remain buried, lost knowledge will remain lost, and unanswered questions will stay unanswered forever. The Amazon does not threaten humanity out of malice, but indifference. It has survived ice ages, mass extinctions, and continental shifts, and it will continue in some form long after modern civilization changes or collapses. The uncomfortable truth is that the Amazon does not need us, but we need it, and yet we continue to push into it as if conquest were still possible. And perhaps that is the real secret hidden inside the Amazon rainforest. Not monsters, not myths, not even lost civilizations, but a mirror, one that reflects humanity's arrogance, curiosity, fear, and refusal to accept limits. The forest shows us what happens when knowledge outpaces wisdom, when exploration ignores respect, and when survival is mistaken for dominance. As the canopy closes above every forgotten trail and every unmarked grave, the Amazon quietly keeps its secrets, not because it is hiding them, but because we are running out of time, patience, and humility to listen. And when the last unexplored shadow disappears, the most haunting possibility remains that the greatest mystery of the Amazon was never what was hidden inside it, but what it revealed about us, and whether we were ever ready to understand it before it was too late.